Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, the first of a world bootcamp coverage, we're joining T1 Cuz on his patented Nidalee, going on a voluptuous invade with the good Dr. Mundo and the Blitzcrank. The Yone's in base, what more could you expect? And nice discipline, good counter invade, well, not counter invade, but invade defense. We do have wards being placed, we have zombie ghost power in the hands of the support, so we'll have good vision and wall placement for the start. And to continue the introduction, as we were rudely interrupted by EU West shenanigans, the reason why I think it's really good to cover the World's Bootcamp is, even if you're not really interested in esports whatsoever, is because these are pro players, these are challenger players, these are 1000 LP players, and when you put them in a lower elo, Master Tier, Grandmaster, Demon, Diamond 1, whatever the case may be, they're going to show you how to exploit the mistakes of the people they are playing against. And that is the most vital thing for any of you when you're looking to play jungle. If you're not punishing enemy jungler mistakes or mispositions, you're not tracking them properly, you're not truly capturing the essence of what it means to be a jungler. So hopefully we get a good example from this game. Spoiler alert, we do. Cuz has been rank 1 and rank 2 on the Korean server in terms of junglers. Like, he was the highest rank and the second highest rank. Canyon was 3rd rank just before the World's Bootcamp began. So even though he is the sub for T1, let's acknowledge that, so he has obviously more time perhaps to grind those solo queue rankings, although most of them are pretty dedicated. He just has such a perfect way of playing with this champion and in general that I think everyone can really learn from. And that's all we're here to do, basically. So we saw the leash from Kindred, would have moved up afterwards. Keep that tracking information. She's moving down here. This is a fiddlesticks trick just to be faster, to avoid vision detection in case there's any wards placed. You drag the camper to the bush. I don't think we needed to be that cautious in the situation, but it never hurts to always play to the what-ifs in terms of tracking and positioning. So we're doing a red side, and we're most likely going to look for either an early gank or a cheeky little invade. It is a Kindred, which means it's not like you're walking into a Kha'Zix who does a full clear and gets a little bit low at the end. Kindred can handle themselves, against most junglers. This is a lot of time to be wasting for level 1, but it is a Vi mid, so it's good to actually try something here. Nice setup. Flash hits, a little bit of an unfortunate leap, no problems. Remember, I did a rank 1 Canyon Nidalee video earlier in the season. That ward dies, but Kuz really is extremely good at the champion, if not equally as good. So, counter invade, nicely done. We see the Kindred shows up here now. When you see the Kindred showing up here, you would see the CS and you'd see no blue. That immediately tells you 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we easily have that, plus the crab taken. That's 16. If we took any extra CS or a ward, that gives you an added value. So in this case, the ward, 1 CS. That means we know straight away, as RNGesus blesses us with a bottom crab to deny the Kindred mark, that the Kindred did not do the blue, and we'll have to fall back to that, or gank mid and come on down. So great ward by the Yone, and the damage charts at the end of this game, they might surprise you. They might surprise you. The match history will be linked right at the bottom. We are going a Dark Harvest rune set, so a lot of scaling involved. It does also mean that you can't afford to AFK farm. I mean, people think, hey, I'm playing Dark Harvest, I can relax. No, you need to get in to the faces of the enemy. We saw the Kindred again on that ward. Doesn't hesitate. Wall hops, leaves the blue, goes here. Kindred's going to be backing. So we know that they most likely did the Raptors, so they're around 315, 320. That's when the second camp will spawn for most meta junglers. Vi has no flash, so we can block this. Yone is going to unfortunately be going back from whence he came, but the Nidalee should be able to at least hold a little bit and push the wave. That's unfortunate. Nothing much we can do about that. This will happen in your games, but what I want you to do, if you watched the video on the main channel that I released yesterday, is keep your wits about you. Keep your mind solid, monk mental, Himalayan consistency, because this will happen. And you can see from the timeline, obviously, we're in for a treat. So the early game routes and decisions all impact how we get to the mid game, how we get to the late game. Patience, discipline, anticipation, all play into those hands. Now, for World's junglers, as we carry on for the through the first clears in the early game, just kind of scouting and shadowing, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Now, I probably will do T1 Ono. He's doing some good things in solo queue. We do have FPX Tian on his Lee Sin, EDG Way. So there's a lot of good material to cover and throw up on this channel. So, oh, it was warded. The hook hits. Kindred comes from base. But we have the Yone rotating. Nice skin, by the way. Careful, don't push too much. And then we can go back to base if we need to. In this case, I think this is fine. You know, people in coaching and in most situations have so many lazy backs. And it's just very tilting when someone pushes you off of it. But it doesn't always necessarily mean that you have to go back somewhere else. Like, Cuz now has seen something, right? He saw the fact that the Kindred's going to be floating here, maybe looking mid lane. Blitzcrank has roam prior. We know that Devi has no flash. Let's actually hold up, stay out, and go mid lane and goon squad it. Working with your support, and trust me, they do roam, and pretty much most healers at this point, is very important. So, we slap back into the red side jungle. This is a tier 2 Raptor camp, which means it's level 5. This will not have been taken at all, so this is level 1. Now we've got an RNG crab topside, knowing that Kindred most likely will be looking for it. Nautilus is moving up to help. Do we have prior to contest this? You know? No. Kindred does. And hopefully some nice juicy CC. Thank you, good sir. Cuz has no idea, sorry, not no idea, but no possible way in to actually counter that. But we know they're going to most likely gank top lane here, so here you can sort of debate internally, should I leave my camp? Can I set up the counter gank? In this case, you haven't spent gold. The Kindred has Noon Quiver. Don't coin flip that situation. Coin flip that situation. This plant is hit, that should be tracked. Kindred most likely now is going to steal your red. We know this. So there's no point heading to the top side. All of this is vital if you actually want to carry in these kinds of games, because it looks doomed a little bit in terms of you might feel like you're behind. And I had a coaching session recently where the person was like, yeah, you know, nice spear. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm behind. And the reality was, he really wasn't. You know, it just felt like it because you couldn't exactly execute the game plan you truly wanted, and the lanes weren't providing you the fruit that you needed. So Yona is apparently showing us this. The Blitzcrank is reactively rotating. We know that the Kindred might have taken the red, but by showing here, we know that they did not. So that's huge information for Cuz as well. Kindred's hopping into the wall here, over the walls, excuse me, taking the dragon. Cuz is going to smite this to finish the quest. Take the Gromp. Now, do we contest the dragon? Maybe, but I think I'd more likely just try and grab a kill. Get his cut this bottom lane. Ah, that hook. We have to be very respectful of the fact that the Kindred's there, and we did see it very briefly. Spear hits. Threat of execute. Kindred. What ultimate? Beautifully done. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, when we make fun of, when we make fun of pro players for missing spears, please do not, that was close. Please do not. You know, trying to hit a spear on players who can dodge them and know that the spear is coming is not the same as throwing spears against, you know, any other rank. Cut the wave, this is very good, and we can just auto-attack here, we don't need spears. You can chuck it if you need to, but you can auto-attack if you have no mana. Really use that range component. Kindred again comes straight to the bottom side because all those camps are available. Red buff is available. Cuz could stick around, but I think laying a trap there for vision and going straight to mid lane is great. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. This is less, there's less coaching material, more review in this one. I like these. I like these a lot. If you hit the spear, oh. These games, the games of our lives, as it were. I mean, look, gold amounts, 400. Oh, that was nice too. I was just looking at the gold amounts. Hopefully you saw that. Okay, if you looked at the gold amounts because of me, I apologize. Let's, there's more than enough mana here for a spear. So moving top lane, Darius knows that she's in the area, walks straight into it, straight spear. And this is something you're noticing, right? There's a lot more spear success rate because the players are not as adept as what Cuz usually faces. Oh, a hook hits, but the ult is there, and we don't have a lot of mana. Obviously not as much of an issue when you're Nidalee. Here we go. Ult is actually burned. We kill the Nautilus. This is working out very nicely. I love the in and out. Hopefully you're noticing the smoothness and the in and outness of how Kuz plays, even when there's no mana. Okay, Vi hits the ult, plus a Q, plus a combo. He'll get an assist for that. Mundo! Yes, that's it. There you go. Well played. So overall, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. Bot lane's kind of, you know, not really anything. It's all on us to carry. It's all on us to carry. Out of base, we have the Night Harvester plus Stopwatch and the Dark Seal. You need Stopwatch. I play Zyra, you guys know this. I've never had a season where I've had to build Zhonya's literally every game. Otherwise, I just die. I just die. There's no way for me to play the game if I don't have Stopwatch or Zhonya's. And for Nidalee, it's the same thing. I mean, you're yeeting into stuff. You know, you're going to hit a spear, the trap's going to hit, you're jumping in. You need to be able to survive, and that's just part of the game. Sorry, Assassins. And also, Zed jungle, Talon jungle, Kiana jungle, Kha'Zix jungle, Blue Cane jungle. There is an Assassin meta that's going around. Zhonya's is necessary. Blitzcrank uses the Predator for the knock-up hook. That spear gets dodged, but by dodging it, she dies. It's also worth noting, you know. The pressure is huge, though. Look at the flow. Out of base, into this, follow the jungle, kill the mid laner, float up, C2 top, immediately collapse down. This is what Kuz is so good at. I love his read and reacts. Let's call it that. I love his read and reacts. Look at this. They have no idea. Kuz is just immediate. He sees things, he rotates. Spear hits again. Here we go. We are 911. This is it. Pounce Q, baby. Right, 10-1-1. That escalated quickly from a very quiet beginning to just all of a sudden we have 10 kills. I love it. And it's just read and react. There's no focus on, you know, I want to sequence my camps. It's not. Let's look at what the map is providing and make sure we can execute its will. Right, Mark spawns bottom side, still a Skull Crab. Kindred mains, how much pain are you in right now? Hopefully a lot. Here we go. The cooldown on the ult is quite substantial. They're able to secure that. The right idea, though. Let's head straight to it. In a lower elo game, the Kindred might... who are we kidding? Kindred gets sucked into Marks. You probably kill them if they don't go immediately. Vi's mid lane with a Nautilus. We have 10 Magi stacks. Wonder how many we get to this game. Let's crank roaming. Follow the support. It's always good to do so. If there's someone with CC, follow them. Nidalee loved Renekton, unfortunately. Let's chuck a spear. Oh, being fed on Nidalee is just a different kind of high. And that was so 0 to 100. I mean, that's why the early game commentary, I'm trying to sort of, okay, all right. There's not a lot of actionable things to look at other than just take what is given. Again, move the map forward now. So we've secured the objective. We can see there's a collapse going on the mark. Vi's moving up onto the Yone. Again, wall hop, use the mobility, get to the situation. You can always E as necessary. Just did. And Vi gets trapped under the tower. Darius is rotating as well. We'll get red smited and it won't matter. Both taken out. If you are not present on the map when these things happen, do not complain that your team dies. Because if the Yone dies here, and the Darius gets a kill, and the Vi gets a kill, and they push this tower, and then now they take your whole red side because you, after the dragon, fell back to your blue side, that's on you, alright? Always look. Always look. Okay. We can get Soak Boots, and now head straight to the bottom side. Why? We've got 3 bottom lane. Ezreal's waiting on the tower. Good job, sir. I know they won't do that in your games, don't worry. I'm fully aware. The wolf reset. Now, you see, most of you might feel compelled to say, well, hold up, I need to go and get that baby wolf. Nope, we have the TP from Mundo because we made those plays. Hello, Carthus. Let him die, that's fine. We can go into the Nautilus. And then we can cut Footloose. Man, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. The damage is 90% Kuz. Really is. Nidalee... You know, we're not talking about the micro mechanics of the champion, but getting your clears and playing this smoothly, it's tough. It takes a lot of time. And Korean junglers love the Nidalee more than pretty much any other region. Darius is split pushing here, so we do have to respect it to some degree. We can most likely get this tower as well. We can use our E for an attack speed steroid to try and help get that. If we hit the spear, obviously the fire will disengage anyway. Muna's gonna go back. Now look at this. This is where a lot of you in mid-elos, say gold, platinum, and diamond 4 even, will try and push a bit further. Don't. Look at this. There's an objective on the map and we can cut off and kill and then flow back to the objective. Always look for the picks and the things that give you numbers advantages. Hello. Goodbye. Pretty much a summary of all Nidalees when they're fed. Man, this was just... I hadn't seen the game before. I just saw the match history. I love it when things work out. I really don't like Yone. Stopwatch. We can get a heal off and maybe a wall hop. Ah, flash into the Kindred ult. Get the heal with your heal as well. Avoid any instant death. Take the plant. Smooth. I really don't like Yone. If I could delete 2 champions, I'd delete Yone and Yuumi. Honestly. Those 2. The rest I feel to a certain degree I can handle mentally and mechanically. But I just don't like Yone, Yuumi individually altogether. I think Yuumi represents a lot of wrong things about champion design. Ezreal split pushing. He did a good job earlier backing up, and now the Darius is going to say bleed. Bleed he does. Back to base. Zhonya is complete, which means we now have that activation. This is really fast. I hope you can realize this. Normally, a lot of the VODs especially, actually all the time, when they're not pro players, we're much slower. We're much slower. We're talking about what ifs, where they could have gone, but you're noticing with Cuz and with those Canyon gameplays as well, it's so fast. It's so quick. Everything is an immediate snap decision of what they want to do next. Immediate reaction decision of what they saw that they can take advantage of. And there's no hesitation. And it's just so quick. And honestly, you can see the difference between the junglers when you look at it like this. 3 levels up, the Kindred just had no time to breathe at all during the game, no real room to do whatever they wanted. Blitzcrank hook, doomed. Thresh, Nautilus, Pike, when he's good. Why would you go here? See, this is what I'm talking about. A Master Jungler playing against another Master Jungler might not very often be in this situation, so they don't often get to play in this kind of game state. You know? But never check this. If you're behind to this level, this is just dumb. You see the Nidalee? Don't do it. Patience is the only way you scale in this game. It's unlikely that you will, but in lower elos, they will posture. They will not be in the right position. They won't close games out this quickly. And you, as the scaling jungler with a Karthus, you can prevent forest fires, the mental forest fires of your team by just waiting for them to push into you and tilt into you. Because someone will overcommit, someone will make a mistake. Fall back to the dragon here. Everyone pushes towers. Now we can reset once more. We have 2,100 in pocket. You can go for a Void Staff. You can go for a Needless into Death Cap. You can go into a Banshee's Veil if you need the Spell Shield as well as a bit of MR. And I think against Karthus, a Banshee's Veil plus a Zhonya's, particularly against the Nautilus as well. Huge purchase. That's also something worth talking about. Buying the items that allow you to close the game. You know, do you guys remember the Java meta a few years ago? Where you would just rush GA in pro play as well? Like you get a lead with Warrior, then you rush GA because if they can kill you in whatever situation, they can't kill you twice because you revive with HP. Again, it's the same thing. Like, why are we doing this? They're not used to having this kind of pressure. And even then, it's a one-man show. The Nautilus. The Blitzcrank is hitting hooks, but it is really all about the Nidalee damage. And Cuz is the only one that's always in position. Have you noticed? They've all made some kind of plays, but early on it kind of looked, okay, top's dying a few times, mid's dying a few times. All he did was read and react to the map, and a lead we shall get. Baron secured. Do we need to reset 1,000 gold? We could. There's not obviously that much of value. If your team does look to reset here, just unless you can make a pick, or you're this fed, try and be a bit safe. But in Kaz's case here, Predator Blitzcrank. Of Quith. Dodge the hook. Oh my goodness. Does a Kindred not know where the ultimate button is? There's just disrespect everywhere. Don't know who else is in this game from a build's perspective. I don't have any software that tells me automatically. It's just all manual, so. Oh! Okay, see? So okay. Right? You get it now? Most of you who like to watch Worlds coverage, or pro players and then do the kick W's every time Jankos hits a spear, you slap them against Master Tier junglers when they're Korean Nidalee mains. It's a different ball game. Well, that was a bit steamy fast and efficient, but I think it's also important to note, if you're looking to close games, this is how you do it. If you're an assassin, this is how you do it. You look to this, you take the dragon, you push, you react, you go, you base. You're out here, you're wall hopping, you're in here, you hit the spear, you kill. It all builds together into a beautiful freeze frame, but this is what Canyon does, this is what Kaz does. Let me know what champion you would like to see in the next one. Obviously just a quick one on this Friday night. I released a lot of content this week, so I didn't want to go too long in the gameplay review. I will be back with another one tomorrow though, so don't worry. Most likely, again, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe we can do 5 next week. I don't want to push it too hard, but let's see if we can do 5 next week. Just getting all the champions that you want to see, all the players you want to see. We will have some closer games back and forth and whatnot. But I think Snowballing with Nidalee, a lot of you ask, well, what happens if? This is what it looks like. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. Match history is, of course, in the link in the description below. Trying to think of something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember it. Oh well. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.